questions to ask RHEA a campaign with the confidence rising. I told WDF don't switch, good times are coming on for deep diving. Fan cams, reactions, watch alongs to the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South they flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
Welcome back to the Premier League review show with me, your host, the Saint of Selhurst, here only on Eagle Eye Football. And it's another solo show. So, unfortunately, at the last minute, Nate was unable to join us for tonight's episode, which is unfortunate, but work things are keeping him from joining us tonight, which is a shame. But, Nate, we send you our best, and we hope you will be back next week. So, coming up on today's show, we review all the Premier League games, lots of draws, a terrible amount of draws, some goals, some controversial decisions by VAR and referees, a couple of derbies in there as well for you, and we also have our favourite segments, Brick and Baller of the Week. Should we kick things off, guys? I think we shall. I'm talking to you, obviously. You know, you are now my co-host, guys. You are now part of my team. Welcome, welcome. We're going to kick things off with the first London derby of the weekend, and it was Saturday's early kickoff. West Ham United won, Chelsea won. Both clubs in need of a result. And it gets off well for Chelsea, with João Felix netting his first goal since joining Chelsea on loan from Atletico Madrid. A well-taken goal, very, very neatly put away by the Portuguese centre-forward. And Chelsea are looking good. And I have to say, João Felix, in this point, when he took his goal, we can see why Chelsea did bring him in. But it did look like ghosts of the past were coming back to haunt Chelsea as Emerson Palmieri, former Chelsea player, knocks in an equaliser 12 minutes later. Then, VAR count number 1. Thomas Souček, well, he can put in a shifting goalkeeper now, apparently, guys. Who knew? Conor Gallagher has a shot from just outside the box, and Thomas Souček goes to ground to try and defend it, but he does clearly strike his hand. It so clearly hits his hand, and it is pushed away. Not a goal, obviously. Not a decision that went Chelsea's way, and that was that. And Chelsea find themselves beside themselves angry. A clear failure of the officials and of VAR in this London derby, and Chelsea should have 3 points from this game. Things to take away from this game: Chelsea still floundering though. Yes, the decision didn't go their way. But when you look at the two clubs, when you look at how they're both set up, when you look at their league positions as well, it's not a hard call to make that you wouldn't necessarily think Chelsea. But West Ham are known for grinding out these results, and a point is still a point for them. They will gladly take that instead of a loss. And it finishes 1-1. So we're going to go over from East London to North London for our second London derby. What is to say about this? This is coming up in a discussion point that we'll have later on. But Arsenal, Brentford seem to be a team that they don't do well against. They have a history of tripping up, let's say, up against Brentford. I guess we could say they feel the bee sting. Whee. Poor jokes, I know. I'm by myself. What do you expect from me? So, Arsenal-Brentford. Trossard gets his goal. Well done. Good for him. He's made that move very, very well. But Arsenal should have been all over this game. But Brentford, oh my word, the chances that they had in the first half. Ivan Toney hits the bar. Rico Henry misses by a whisker. Brentford should have been 2-3 up before halftime. But it does take until midway through the second half for Leo Trossard to actually get his first goal of the game. And I believe for Arsenal, correct me if I'm wrong. But then Ivan Toney, he finally sees where the goal is, and it's in, and it's an equaliser. But was it an equaliser? Well, apparently it was not. So, VAR strikes 2 times. We are now up to 2. We're 2 for 2, guys. VAR costs Mikel Arteta 3 points, as he said so in his press conference pre-match for Manchester City, which is tomorrow night. Make sure if you are watching, if you do get a chance to watch that is a title deciding game. This is what Mikel Arteta had to say. He accused of the VAR official, that being Lee Mason, of, quote, not understanding, unquote, his job. Despite the fact that Christian Norgard was offside as he laid in the cross for Toney to score, the PGMOL, that being the referees board, have admitted it was a human error to allow the goal as Lee Mason forgot to draw the lines. I'm gonna let that settle with you, viewer. I'm gonna let that settle. He forgot to draw the line. Human error. Okay, we can chalk this one down human error. That's fine. Look, we're all human. We make mistakes. What the whole meaning of human error is, Nicholas. But anyway, it's your job to draw a line, man. Do we need VAR for VAR? Do we need to have someone watching the VAR to make sure that the VAR is doing what the VAR is supposed to do? That's a lot of VARs. But this is absolutely insane that this should happen in this humble fan's opinion, the best league in the world. This was about to break watershed there. This rubbish still happens. How? How do you just forget to get your little ruler, get your pen, draw a line on a screen? I can guarantee you that when I used to teach, I never had to tell my class, don't forget to draw your margins. They knew. How are we in an era where we forget to draw margins? Oh, God. There are times I hate this sport. There really is. It really is. But no. It's a blunder. And it's a big, big blunder. This will cost Arsenal dearly. This has cost them dearly because, as we'll find out later on in the show, Manchester City's gap is closed. It is closing. Closing. And the discussion later on will lead into, has Arsenal kind of lost their mojo? Have they lost their momentum? Stay tuned. We'll talk about it. We're going to move on. We're going to stay in London. We're staying in London for a while here. We were lucky. We were so lucky. Allow me to quote my my great co-host. Why did Sanchez let it bounce? Oh God, that's gonna find its way on that. is the funniest thing. Oh, God. Right. What's to say about this game? Well, we drew. We didn't lose. So I think, like, are we into, like, 1,700 plus days since we last lost to them who must not be named? You can tell I'm kind of going with the Harry Potter references since Hogwarts Legacy came out. Let me get my notes up because this game, what? So the note I've got in capitals after this game is in big bold letters. VAR's at the hat trick. Where's the FPL points for VAR? Because I know I need them. Right. Here we go again. So Solly March gives Brighton a goal, and he shushes the Holmesdale stand. Come on, man. Are we not past this? He set himself up for this. I don't know why players keep shushing home fans. It's just a recipe for disaster. 6 minutes later, Robert Sanchez has a mare. He has a mare. He drops the ball right in front of James Tompkins. And James Tompkins, a person who, at the beginning of the game, everyone was thinking, oh my God, this is a nightmare. This is bad. It's Tompkins. But no, dear viewer, it was Tompkins who saved us. Thank God. So, what's to say about this game? We got thoroughly outplayed. Now, this is just my humble opinion, okay? So, whatever your opinion may be, it is. So, the first half, there was a goal that got ruled off for offside. Or was it? No, it was a goal. It was a goal. But it wasn't. Estupinan, I really hope I got that name right. I hate getting player names wrong. He scores with, what do you know? The lines were misdrawn again, guys. What? No, actually, no, hang on, not again. So the lines this time were drawn. They were just incorrectly drawn. In this country, we have an education system where we teach kids to draw straight lines from 3 years of age. You can draw a straight line, maybe even younger. And yet we've got middle-aged men who genuinely are like, oh, that's an offside line. Oh, that's an offside line. What's an offside line? I forgot to draw it, don't you know? Ha ha ha! Sack the referees. Sack the referees. Get fans to do it. There you go. Go get a fan out of a ground and be like, can you draw a straight line? Yes, you're hired. Boom. I'm more qualified to draw a straight line. I'm defending a Brighton decision. Oh, this is the end days, viewer. This is the end days. This is what happens when I do a solo show. I've got no one to riff with. Oh, dear me. You can tell I'm losing my head. I'm defending a Brighton decision. Right, so the PGMOL again. They've had to apologise to Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. Now they have to apologise to Roberto De Zerbi and Brighton, even though, I mean, I'm just glad to see that my brown envelope made it, to the VAR office. I'm just glad that, we have an understanding, the referees and I, even though I want them all sacked. I've got to appear, neutral, he says while wearing a Palace shirt. So a Brighton club spokesman said on Sunday, quote, As was confirmed to the club by PGMOL last night, a serious error was made in disallowing, I'm just going to say, the Brighton player's goal, because I know I'm going to screw that name up again. The lines drawn in the VAR room to determine whether Purvis was in an offside position were drawn incorrectly, and the goal should have stood. While hugely disappointed by the error, the club has accepted the apology and will not be making any further comment. Yeah, because you suck. I said it. I don't care. Fight me, Brighton fans. Fight me. That's going to end up clipped, isn't it? Yep. Right. Hi, Rich. So, what's to say about this game? Well, we've avoided four defeats in 6 games. But we've only gotten 3 points out of those games. It's not looking good. Do you know what? It's going to have to happen. It's coming. Give me a minute. Hang on.
Big man thing, yeah? It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
So, I'm trying to see the way through here for Palace. And I can't. I genuinely cannot. We've got very, very difficult games coming up. We've got Brentford on Saturday. So that's going to be tough. As I'm getting notifications for some reason. Why am I getting notifications? I'm doing a show. Do you mind? Right. We are in... I'm not going to say we're in trouble. We're not in trouble, okay? We're 7 points clear of relegation as it stands. But we're 12th. You would think that a team sitting in 12th after the midway point in the season here in February, you're thinking, you're okay. You're okay. You're not great, but you're not in danger. You're not great. It's tough. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they haven't beaten us in 4 years. Long may that continue. On to the next game. We have our first win of the day, guys. And guess what? We're staying in London. London was busy, man. All 4 corners of London got a game. Hey, that's actually wow. I don't remember the last time that actually happened. Answers on a postcard. Fulham 2, Nottingham Forest 0, and Fulham. Oh, what can I say? What can I say about Fulham that already hasn't been said already? These guys were incredible. So unfortunately, Nottingham Forest's unbeaten run in this calendar year, has come to an end at the hands of Fulham. But it was in such a way that I didn't really, when I was watching the game, I didn't really see a lot from Nottingham Forest. But I think the game was lost for Nottingham Forest when McKenna and Bowley both went out injured at the exact same time. That's Forest 2 centre-backs. You lose 2 centre-backs very, very early into the game. And it's, that's code red. You are it's not looking. You know what I'm going to do, don't you? Forest,
Big man thing, yeah? It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. So, Willian scores. And it's a cracking goal, mind you. An absolutely corker of a goal past Navas. I still need to get used to saying that. Keylor Navas plays for Nottingham Forest. Balmy. Absolutely balmy, that is. So then Fulham just pepper that goal with chance after chance after chance after chance. And I think that the one that I watched, and specifically because I had a look at all of the angles of it, was Bobby Reed's shot, which just rocketed against the bar. Cracking strike. Definitely should have deserved a goal there. But yes, another 3 points for Fulham. They are climbing up that table, mate. Climbing. But yeah, unfortunately, Steve Cooper's unbeaten run this year is put to an end. Navas did save a great opportunity by Mitrovic as well. Obviously, Bobby Reed had 25 yards out. His chance. Pereira just missed the post as well. And second half, it was more of the same. But more so on Forest. They brought on John Joe Shelby in the second half, and it did look like a bit of a change for them. They certainly came out well, but not much else came out. Bernd Leno did pull off a number of saves to deny Emmanuel Dennis and Serge Aurier, but mostly Bernd Leno could have gone out of deck chair and read the Evening Standard. Not much more to say for them. Excuse me. I'm getting over a little bit of sickness as well. I've got a bit of man flu, so you will have to excuse me. Let's talk. Oh, Leicester. Leicester and Spurs. Now, this game I had to laugh at because I was texting my dad this score here. And he hates both teams. Now, he's a Chelsea fan. I know. I have the sense to wear the right colours. He's, he hates Leicester and he hates Spurs. Don't ask me why he hates Leicester. It's kind of clear why he hates Spurs. It's Spurs. Everyone, they're like the Millwall of the Premier League at the moment. No one likes them. So, oh dear me. So it gets off to a great start for Tottenham Hotspur. Their fans are in going crazy as Bentancur strikes in the 14th minute. And then, let me get my notes up. I really should handwrite these out, but I've got them on my phone, so I do apologize. So this is coming off of Spurs beating Man City. They're in great mood. They've had record breakings. They've had wins over the champions. And then it all just falls apart. The wheels fell off the bus. What on earth happened here? Because 9 minutes later, don't you know, Mendy with a cracking strike to Fraser Forster don't even try and save that. Don't even try. Bearing in mind here, Spurs, it's not all bad. Obviously, Hugo Lloris is a huge loss. Okay. It's going to happen. You lose your number one goalkeeper, even though he wasn't that good to begin with. And then, moments later, literally 2 minutes. 2 minutes. James Maddison scores. Dear me. And I work with Arsenal fans at work, and we are just laughing. We are on the floor at this point. And then Kelechi Iheanacho with this was a fine strike. Went straight in, and it's 3-1 at halftime, and it's game over. It's game over. But then Harvey Barnes gets a goal, but it's disallowed. What do you know? There's a referee that knows the offside rule, guys. Yeah! Celebrate. Fireworks. Woo! But then he goes and scores again. It's just like, I have a funny feeling that he must have been looking at the referee. Does anyone remember that Thierry Henry celebration where Henry scores that free kick and he looks at the referee, he's like, is that right? Is that right? Yeah, I thought so. That would have been me. That would have been like, am I good to celebrate now? Yeah, good. 4-1, an absolute roasting of the Spurs. Now, I don't mean to mean them any further, but is this not the way of Tottenham? Is this not what they do best? They get a great result, they lose. Harry Kane scores the most goals for Spurs. They get absolutely trounced. It is the history of the Tottenhams. Dear me. Not much else to say about that one. Spurs, oh dear. And now we come to the South Coast. Southampton 1, Wolverhampton Wolves 2. And it's a game which led to, and I called it. I said this would happen. I said this would happen. Thank you very much. I'm off to do the lottery numbers. Nathan Jones has been sacked after Southampton lost 2-1 to Wolverhampton in, frankly, just unfortunate circumstances. Circumstances that, I'm not going to lie, I don't think this was the game to sack him. As my collar keeps revolting. It's rebelling against me. Yeah, I feel sorry for Nathan Jones after this game here because I don't think he should have been sacked following this result. But results weren't going his way. The fans he'd lost the fans. Apparently the board was standing by him, but apparently this was one loss too many. It gets off to a great start for Southampton. Alcaraz scores in the 24th minute. A few moments later, Lamina is sent off for a second bookable offence. Now, if anyone can tell me in the comments when this video goes live what that second yellow card was for, thank you. Answers on a postcard, because I watched the highlights again and again and again. The second yellow card, there was a good 50 meters from referee to Lamina. Now, the referee blew his whistle. Lamina reacted, which this was probably what it was. It was the reaction. Apparently, the written reason in the post-match notes was Lamina approached the referee aggressively. He stood still. The man was standing still and he approached the referee aggressively? Like, what? Sack the referees. Sack the referees. So it's all looking good for Southampton. Up until Bednarek. Oh, Bednarek. Oh, you've had a howler. This is probably the worst own goal I've seen in a while. Bednarek practically walks the ball into his own net. And I did laugh, but I felt so bad for him. It kind of wraps up the whole Nathan Jones situation in a nice little ball, doesn't it? And then disaster, and well, then upset turns into disaster as Gomez scores a late goal to send the Wolves fans home happy, and it's 2-1 full time. Nathan Jones, we hardly knew ye. Now, I'm not going to blame him. I'm not going to blame him for this. I'm going to blame Southampton because they picked the wrong manager. Now, obviously, there's not a lot of options out there. At the time when Hasenhüttl was sacked, there wasn't a lot of managers available. And then you've also got to worry about, costs. If they wanted a manager who was already attached at a club, would they have to pay compensation? They then make a very, very weird decision in bringing in the then Luton Town manager. Really? Like, really? You've got to be kidding me, right? Luton Town. Like, I can see the appeal. He's a good manager. Okay, his tactics don't work for the Premier League. He's not a Premier League manager. He's had no Premier League experience, and yet, let's just go hire him. Could have gone for Martinez. Could have gone for Roberto Martinez. I'm just saying. That would have been my pick. But oh well, it is what it is. We'll come to who may be coming in to replace Nathan Jones at St. Mary's soon. Oh boy. Oh dear, Leeds. That's gonna be funny to see. We're gonna stay on the South Coast. We're gonna be staying with Bournemouth and Newcastle United and Kieran Trippier. I'm gonna get to the goal scorers in a minute. Kieran Trippier, take a freaking bow, son. Thomas Souček, that's how you be a goalkeeper, mate. Just saying, that's how you defend. Follow Trippier's example. We'll get to Trippier in a moment. So, Bournemouth take a surprising lead, and it's 1-0 through Senesi, and then Miguel Almiron again. His form is incredible, and he deserves all the plaudits that are given to him for this. He takes a very, very well taken goal. It's 1-1, and Newcastle, I'm starting to think they don't want top four football because they keep doing this. They have a chance to go third. They miss it. They have a chance for 3 points against a team that they should by all rights be beating. They don't beat them. Oh, I'm gonna say thank God that the next 3 games I've got to review are wins. I'm sick to death of seeing the score 1-1. How many 1-1s can a man take? I can't take much more. Not much more to say about this except Kieran Trippier with a beautiful goal line clearance. I was about to say deflection. No, clearance. He clears it off the line. The ball, it was just crossing the line, but Trippier says, get that out of here. And he makes the save, keeping it to a 1-1 draw. So well done to him. We're going to go to Ellen Road now. Here we go with Leeds. So, Matt, I don't even know the Leeds manager at the moment. What's his name? I know that there was some news that literally just came out about him like a couple hours ago that he is going to be retaining his job for the next couple games. I've lost it now. And, what do you know? Tottenham are losing to AC Milan already. There you go. Normal service continues, ladies and gentlemen. The Champions League is back. I'm never going to hear that music as a Palace fan. Sad. Anyway, let's talk about these two teams. That's what we're here. Leeds United and Manchester United. Now, after their thrilling contest, now, and I use the word thrilling, this was without a doubt one of the best games I've seen this season. Leeds, I was hoping for more of the same, but I think this was always the way it was going to go. Manchester United, who need the win, left it pretty late. But genuinely, I think Marcus Rashford is just the most. I think he's winning Golden Boot this season. I'll put my bet. Oh, there's my prediction for you. Marcus Rashford to win Golden Boot. Also Alejandro Garnacho as well. I'm also going to make a prediction here. Garnacho, I think, will win the Young Player of the Year award. The influence that he's had. Sorry, as I'm. Oh. The influence. Sorry. Ooh. Leg pains. Great. Ow. That's going to get clipped as well. Yay. Oh, this is a nightmare show. Great. Where was I? Garnacho. So Garnacho. Yeah, he's decent, ain't he? He's a decent lad. That's not journalistic professionalism. Oh dear. So Alejandro Garnacho, let's try this again. He has on the pitch been absolutely great for Manchester United. He's stepped up whenever he's had the chance. Ten Hag obviously sees a lot in him, and I think we will have to get used to hearing the name Alejandro Garnacho on score sheets because this kid knows what he's doing. He can work well inside of his team. He can work on tracking back, going forward. His passing maybe needs a little bit more work before I think he starts games on a more regular basis. But what a player. If you ask me, which you haven't because you're just looking at me just talking, Manchester United do look like the team to beat at the moment because they are just running, they're firing on all cylinders. They really, really are. And I mean, if Arsenal win the league, Arteta is manager of the year. If they don't win the league, Ten Hag is manager of the year. That's my opinion. 3 points for Man United. No points for Leeds. Ooh, the championship. It be calling. Over to the other Manchester side. Manchester City 3, Aston Villa 1. I didn't even know Aston Villa had scored. That's how bad this game was. And should this ever reach the ears of Martin, a friend of the channel over the Villa Park podcast, yeah, you lot were dire in this one, weren't you? So Rodri immediately goal. 4 minutes in. Gundogan then follows up. Was like 35 minutes later. And then Riyad Mahrez scores. And I'm thinking, as soon as I see the penalty call comes up, I'm thinking, yes, there's my Haaland FPL points. Nope. Thanks, Mahrez. Thanks. But there's a reason for that because Erling Haaland went off injured. He is injured, and you have to say Arsenal will be thanking their lucky stars that they've lost the highest goal scorer in the Premier League at the moment. And I just said in the last review that Marcus Rashford's going to win Golden Boot, and I've just said Haaland. Oy vey. Me brain, it not be working, everyone. So, Ollie Watkins gets a goal, but it's nothing more than a consolation. Manchester City close the gap to Arsenal, 3 points. 3 points. Tomorrow's game, oh my God. I cannot wait for it. I'm going to be watching it. That's going to be a title-deciding game. The door has now been opened for Manchester City to come back into this title race. And if they don't take it, they're not winning the title. I think even a draw at this point, a draw or a win for Arsenal means Manchester City just do not have it in them this season. Now, obviously, they're facing FPL charges. FPL charges? Yeah, they're facing Fantasy Premier League charges. Yeah, FFP charges rather. Maybe that's having an effect, but that shouldn't really affect the players. The players know their job. They've been in this position before. They know what they're doing. They've won a title before. They know what it takes. But I don't know. I'd love to know what the reason why Manchester City just haven't really been there. It's all been Arsenal, and that counts on their momentum and the style that they play on with Arteta. But what happened to Pep City? What happened? We'll have to wait and see on Wednesday. Stay tuned for that one on next week's Premier League review show, because I'll be including the Wednesday night game with our next week's review. I could have actually waited until tomorrow night to do this. I could have done a live reaction. Nah. Ah well. Hindsight be 2020. Right, last game. And it's the big one. It's the Merseyside derby on Monday Night Football. And Salah's back on a score sheet. Good for him. Good for him. Cody Gakpo, also well done, mate. You get your first goal of your Liverpool career. Congratulations to him for that one in what was a standard Merseyside derby, I want to say. Not much else happened in this game. I didn't watch a lot of it because I was at work at the time. But let me bring up my notes. So Everton remain still in the relegation zone. Van Dijk, Jota, and Firmino all on the bench, but they are close to a full return for fitness, which is just the most annoying thing considering we've got Liverpool coming up soon. Great. Just great. So they're coming off of the momentum of Dyche's first game. They beat Arsenal. They've thrown the league title race up into ashes. It's anyone's guess now. But it just never really looked like it got started for them in this game. Liverpool, however, they move up into 9th. It's mid-table mediocrity for Chelsea and Liverpool. It still sounds weird. It still sounds weird that one of the last, I think, 2 of the last 5 individual Champions League winners are mid-table. Oh, you can't write this crap. You really can't, man. It's balmy. Absolutely balmy. But Liverpool, they did well, and that's coming off of the news that that UEFA did not find them guilty of the fiasco, the absolute disaster that was the Champions League final against Real Madrid, in which their fans were tear-gassed and treated horrifically by French authorities. So work on that one, UEFA. Work on that one. But that's it, really. So, a discussion point. What else to say? VAR has failed again. In other news, water is wet, the sky is blue, and the sun will shine tomorrow. Now, I'm gonna throw my football hat off, and I'm gonna throw my rugby union hat on. Because if you don't know, I love rugby union. Watching the Six Nations at the moment. Come on, Ireland! Grand Slam coming my way. I'll be singing the Irish national anthem every weekend. So, the way that VAR I always liken it to is the TMO in rugby union. There's full disclosure between referee and TMO, official in TMO. Okay. What the referee asks for is, say, reasonable doubt to not give or not award or to award a try, or in case of a high tackle or in case of anything else that may happen. The TMO then checks for that at every single possible angle given. They've got cameras everywhere. You're going to find, either you can find an angle which supports the decision, or you can't find an angle that supports the decision, at which point the TMO then rules with the referee, not overruling the referee, but advises them. This is what VAR has to be. Full disclosure, get rid of going to the monitor. You don't need that. You don't need a referee running over to a monitor on the pitch side for 5 whole minutes, looking at a screen like I am looking at you. That's what it feels like as fans. We have, at the game, no input. Obviously, we can't call the games, but we are able to see what's happening when the TMO goes to the big screen, because it goes over replay after replay after replay after replay. Not to mention also that the referee asks for the timer to stop. Why isn't this done in football? Instead of getting 90 plus 6, 90 plus 8, 90 plus 9, like in the World Cup for some stupid reason. But at which point VAR needs to improve. And I genuinely, just go talk to the rugby federations, please, and just go get them to do it. Please, because I'm sick to death of VAR. I'm sick to death of the inept referees that we've got in this league. Honestly, I genuinely will say this. We have the worst referees in this country ever. In all of football, every single league, every single country, bar none, we're the worst. We are the worst because we're full of personalities. We're full of people like Mike Dean. But it's ridiculous. Honestly, just sack the referees. Get rid of them. Get a whole brand new crop in. You've got so long before beginning of next season. Take that time from the end of game week 38. Put all your referees in and say, look, this is how this works. This is how it's done. Don't do this. You're out. Done. Absolutely easy. Easier said than done, yes. And obviously a referee's job is just more than that. You know, he has to govern the game. But at what point do we have to keep continuing to take this rubbish? These referees, man, honestly, they've cost. I'd love to know how many, at the end of the season, how many points VAR has cost each and every single team. I want that added up. Sky Sports can do that. I think that they'll probably end up. Right, let's move on before I start off on another bloody rant. Nathan Jones in, Jesse Marsh. Nathan Jones out, Jesse Marsh in. So Jesse Marsh is back, everyone, apparently. Apparently, advanced talks are happening. He's the number one target for Southampton to bring in. Didn't stay out of a job too long, did he? Might as well just taken a holiday. Gone back to the States. Put your feet up. Say hello to the family. Come on back to England, mate. Southampton want you now. Done. So, Jesse Marsch. Will he suit Southampton? Remains to be seen. Does remain to be seen. Who is Southampton? Let's see. So they are playing. That's a good point. They've got Chelsea at home next week or this week. So might be best just take that one on the chin there, Southampton. Just yeah. Good luck to Jesse Marsch. Good luck to Nathan Jones. Hopefully, both of them find work soon. Have Arsenal lost momentum? Yes. There we go. Done. Yes, they have, clearly. Because what has happened? What has happened? Mikel Arteta said after the Everton loss, that's the only loss that we'll lose in that way ever again. And then VAR was just there like, we got you. Oh, why? Hopefully, the early kickoff when they've got their away to Aston Villa on Saturday. Let's see if they can do better. Baller of the week this week goes to Willian for his amazing performance up against Nottingham Forest. He was sublime to watch. And I have to quote my friend Harry. He's an Arsenal supporter. He said, "Why can't Willian do what he was doing for Fulham for Arsenal?" No, maybe because he shouldn't have gone to Arsenal. Just saying. Bricks of the week. Tottenham. And just like I'm doing, they're choking. Oh dear, got to get a punchline in there somewhere. You can tell I'm so unwell. Wow. Oh, Tottenham are doing so bad, it's bringing me to tears. Oh, that one's going to get clipped as well. So many clips, so little time. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Premier League review show. He says, almost choking to death on his poor humour. So hopefully, I said this last week, hopefully next week now, Nathan will be joining us once again to review all these Premier League games, of course. What is coming up on the channel? Of course, you must stay tuned for the Premier League preview. The Brentford preview. There is something seriously wrong with me. So, thank you ever so much for watching, guys. Brentford versus Crystal Palace on Saturday the 18th at 3 p.m. kickoff. Hopefully, we will be doing something for that game. Stay tuned. Follow all the socials. It's down there, scrolling along. There it goes. And it's gone. But it's going to come back around, don't worry. You can follow me at Selhurst Saint, as it says there in the corner. I'm not going to point. I'm not. I don't need that clipped. At this point, I'm probably going to have a whole video of best moments by myself. But let's look ahead to the other Premier League games that are coming up. Anything spicy? Well, we've got Brighton and Fulham coming up. That's going to be a good game, certainly, as two teams going for European places. Newcastle, Liverpool, that'll be a good test for both teams. Sunday's games, Manchester United and Leicester. That's going to be a cracking game. And a London derby of Tottenham versus West Ham. But that's all. I'm yawning now. I'm yawning on show. This has been the most unprofessional show with your host, me, Nicky, Eagle-Eyed Nick. Thank Thank you ever so much for watching. And like, share, and subscribe to the channel, guys. All of your help is greatly appreciated. Follow all the socials. Stay tuned for the channel. And I will be seeing you next week.